It's very interesting to remember often to come to check and the wave completely distorted in the scope. So I went a little bit further on the patch, so I will play a little bit and then I will explain. So first I will do like same on the first part. I will first remind the full patch, but very quickly, and then I will say quickly what I did add and we will listen, sorry, and then I will explain more deeply. As I mentioned in the two other in the past class, I like more we understand it completely, more we can do anything with any synthesizer. So I like to really go deep inside the story. So we had this VCO, go through high pass filter, go through the low pass filter in the delay and in the mixer. We have this low pass filter is opening with one LFO. And this LFO go through one envelope to shape completely the sound. We were here. And then now I did add one LFO inside the frequency modulation of the VCO. So the oscillator? What it means? It means instead of putting one other wave to do the real act of the frequency modulation, means add one harmonic in movement, so modulation on the first sound. I did put one movement, so the VCO will move in modulation in around its frequency we choose with the fast of the LFO. And then, so we will listen one by one after. Now I first explain briefly. So also now it's 2 times I use this multiple and not explain. And even if it's simple, I wanted to mention once. What is a multiple? It's just I put one sound or movement inside and it will duplicate the same sound to can assign in different outputs. So I use it today. And also, so now it's become a little more complicated because the objective is to go a little bit more fast, deep inside the creation of the sound. So now I spoke about the FM, but I said this before, but I changed. So I come back, but I use this frequency modulation. So what I explained is not for nothing, but I first put this first LFO inside the velocity octave. Means instead of moving just the modulation of one frequency, it will move from different octaves, one octave up and one octave down, with the fast and deepness then of the LFO, because of course if it's very fast it will go less high because more fast. So, and then why? Because first I decide to put the movement on the FM and we can listen also, it's very interesting sound. But then I decide to keep the FM, to put one oscillator as FM, so I explained it shortly before on the frequency modulation. So it's put this frequency in modulation on the first frequency, but this VCO is going through another low pass filter which act as VCA, means if the door is closed, the VCO will not act as FM on the second VCO. And I put another LFO, so I took the right part of rampage to move the frequency of this low pass filter to open and close the door with the fast of the LFO. So with this fast and shape, my oscillator will act as FM on the other oscillator or not. And to not have too much weird things at the end, I did synchronize the left part the first LFO, which is the left part of Rampage, by the output. So this I explain in the other classes, okay? So this is the output of the rise, so the attack of the LFO. So this output I did put in the trig of the other side, and I will put the loop down, so it will be or not. Actually, it's not necessary to put it down, which means we have this loop, but this loop is start again in rhythm with the other LFO. So then we have something more harmonic. So I hope I don't put so much confusion, but I think it's clear, because you will let me know if it's enough clear, or watch again the replay until it's become clear. Okay, so let's put the sound a little bit. I will play a little bit with the different parameters, because the thing is, with the modular synths, it's much more easy to get weird or even horrible sound with the modular synth than with a VST. Why? Because it's much more option. So much more option to move. So then, of course, is much more option to all this synchronicity not fit together. So all time, when you add one element, you must remove all the other options. And this is interesting and a little more challenging part of the modular synths, means you need all time to remember exactly what is act on what, because if not, never you can replicate the same sound, okay? So like I will remember so it's okay. I can take the time to look the cable, of course, if I don't remember. So now I can remember, I can see, and I know, okay, this LFO is triggering the ADSR, so opening my low pass filter, and so on. So let's listen a little bit. Let me play a little bit with the parameter, and I come back to take off the patch of the last element I did put, and to put them again more slowly. Okay, it was a little long and interesting. Why? Because I decided, I'm going to do these tips because I really did like the tips of the FM acting through a VCA to go on the other oscillator. I really did like these tricks when I saw this on one tutorial, because when I learned the modular synths, it was many things I didn't think to do inside the VST, and because it's much more option with the modular things, or at least maybe not more, depends which synthesizer, but at least more, because you can put 100 module, but different option, let's say, also, or you can find also this kind of option actually in the virtual synthesizer, but just I never thought about it. So I had to myself go back inside all the parameter to find out where it's coming weird and to get again to the point. So, but then, and it's interesting because with this kind of patch, you can do your some FX, you can do also some lead, you can do some atmosphere, and then all will come from the same seeds. So they will really fit together. So now I will take off the element. Okay, so I take off here, here. Anyway, it will be fast this time. Here, here. Okay, and also here and here. Okay, so now I'm where I was before in the first ping for the ping pong. We have the patch of the first patch, we done. Okay, so now we want to put one LFO on the velocity octave of the oscillator. Means the oscillator will move inside the high pass filter with the LFO on the frequency, and also will come out with some movement on another LFO on the frequency on the low pass filter as VCA. But we will add one movement inside the first sound. Okay, so I will take one out of one LFO and will put it inside the velocity octaves of the VCO. So means it will move with the octaves, one up, one down. So I need, because after I will take off the loop, but for now I will keep the loop and activate it with the trigger, and now the out is going inside. So regarding, so now let's start not fast. So here it's middle range, okay, with rise and fall, which is attack and decay, the same thing. So let's listen. Okay, so I played a little bit with all the options to see all of the difference we have in the sound. Okay, so I will go back in more simple stuff to continue. Okay, so sometimes it's little too much high. Next time I will find out, I will put out an equalizer. I'm not sure there is one. So next time also I will explain, because it's very easy to have this first setup of modules which are inside the VCV rack, and then there is some manipulation to do to can add some other module. So, and then we can put some equalizer, because sometimes it's too, because it's moved from octaves, and sometimes it's too high. So we will need to put one equalizer to take off the high frequency. Next time I will go on this next classes. So now we need to have some sync little bit for more harmony. So I will put the LFO which open and close the door of the VCF as a low pass filter, as which is used as VCA. I repeat for everything is really clear of what I move, okay? So then I choose this triangle wave to open the filter, going through the ADSR, the envelope, but to open the filter. So now I put this sine wave inside the trig of the LFO. And I will take off the loop. So then the LFO will be activated in the sync with the out of the sound. So let's listen if there is a big difference.
Sorry, Karim, but he's asking a question.
Yes, let me check the question. Let me check the chat. There is two ways of recording VCV rack. So one is with one program, and the second is what I used to use now, the last version of VCV rack. Don't do the bridge, which is gives the possibility to use VCV rack as VST inside your DAW. But it's possible to download the version, which I can give you the link. So I will send you today in the mail the link, okay? And there is this version, which is 0.6, exactly, 0.6.2, I think. And when you don't need to install it, you download it and you copy the bridge, DLL bridge, it's the name like this, and you put it inside your VST of your DAW. And then I will explain to you, it's just like any other MIDI instrument, and you can record it on one audio channel to a group channel. Yeah, yes. So there is different way anyway to record. So it's all good for this. So then continue. I put my oscillator, my second oscillator. I will take the sine wave because I like the sine wave to do the FM, but we can use any other wave. So this wave will go through the VCF in low pass filter, and then the out will go on the FM of the oscillator. Means now the FM is not acting because the door of my low pass is closed. And so we can listen the same sound of before. And now I will activate. So we have this LFO is in sync with the open of this filter by the first LFO, by this LFO. And now I will put this LFO, so the second part, but which act independently on the frequency of this low pass filter to open the door for the FM act or not, and to all be in sync I will use the out of the rise, so attack the out of the rise of the LFO1 of Rampage on the trig to the, for example, I could put also this one other wave of this LFO. We can try both options actually. And in this case, I will also take off the loop. So now everything is sending something to start again. So it's coming a sound in standalone. Let's listen. Okay, so it takes time to find exactly the sound is sweet, but it's so interesting and we can get so much option. So I loved to share this time with you, and I will explain more about the bridge next class. So thank you very much, and let's be modular. Yoo-hoo!